Hello and welcome back to the PBS Employee Spotlight. My name's Emma Squire and I'll be your host for this special program. I'm really looking forward to a brand new year of meeting and getting to know some of the wonderful people that make PBS an awesome place to work. And our first employee in the hot seat for 2022 is Burke Kupkee. Burke is the Customer Success Manager here at PBS in the Calgary HQ, and he's now been with PBS for just over 4 years. I'm curious what initially drew you to PBS?
I would have to say someone who currently works here.
Okay.
They had been here a few months prior and liked what they saw, enjoyed it. They had places to go. It's funny because they had worked for me prior, twice in 2 other roles.
Oh.
And they were here and they called me up and said, Burke, you should apply, which I did. So then the 2 PMs interviewed me and I was here in 2 weeks.
That's great.
So it was nice. That's how I got here.
And what role did you start in?
Service support.
Okay.
Yeah, strictly taking calls. Back then it was Aristo. Going into V10, it was steady and busy and lots to learn.
I know now that you are a customer success manager.
Yes.
Which honestly, I don't know that everyone at PBS or all of our customers even necessarily know all about the customer success team. So I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about what you and your team do and why it's such an important piece of the puzzle here.
Sure. They never had that position before. So after a year working the support desk, this position became available.
Okay.
And they hired 2 of us at the same time. And we were a team for a long time, and then they hired a 3rd. So there's 3 of us currently in customer success roles. I play what I consider to be an important part with the other 2 members. And we look after the clients who need more help. So they've briefly or recently come on board with us.
Okay.
We're trying to be proactive rather than reactive. Historically, we've been reactive. So we're trying to move to proactive, and that will be when a new client comes on board, they may come through us to get assistance as required. There's always, moving from another DMS to us can be complicated for some people. Mm-hmm. So we try to make ourselves available, whether that's to go on site, get the support teams here to help out, or just calling them back and talking to them. They like to hear from people. And we try to help them out as best as we can. We move along as fast as we can. The support is tough. I mean, you're going in blind, just like you get the phone calls that are cold, and okay, what's next? What's next? Who's next? So, and we're growing so fast. There's so many new clients out there.
Yeah. And
we keep up to date best we can, and we talk to the clients a lot, get more information out of them, see where they're stuck, what they're having issues with. So there's a lot of client interaction. That's where we work.
So you like honestly coming in and being able to just contact and communicate with the customers?
Sure. I remember telling my new boss recently that my whole idea of doing customer success was putting myself out of business. Because if I'm not working, then we're doing it right. Yeah. Because they're all successful at what they're doing as a client. We have to do that. That's the big part.
Definitely.
And so I like taking care of that. I never missed a day through all this COVID. I've been in the office every day.
Wow.
So, and I drive in from Strathmore, right? So, which
good
is
for you. What was young Burke like?
Yeah.
Very much the same as today?
Sure, except back then they called it hyperactive, and today it's ADHD. I've always been active. I've never sat still. You know, my dad would buy me a brand new bike. 2 weeks later, I got it all completely apart and I painted it. Right? I didn't like the color. Right? So, same thing with motorcycles. I've had motorcycles, nice. And I still have one today. And I still ride, which is what I like to do the most probably. I used to be a motorcycle mechanic too, so.
Oh, okay.
Many years ago. So I play that game too, right? I love to work on my cars and I love to do my own thing. So as long as I stay busy, I'm good.
Absolutely. What's the most interesting or unusual job that you've held prior to working here? And how come it was like that?
Probably locksmithing.
Locksmithing?
Yeah, I was a locksmith for years. It's entertaining. Whether you end up at a rodeo because some guy's locked his keys in his truck and you know he's not good enough to drive. To the guy at 5 o'clock in the morning that will call you out, you get his car open in 30 seconds and you ask for payment and he goes, I'm not paying that much money, so you lock the door and close it again. His car's still running. And then he decides to pay me first and then I open his door.
So after 4 years being here, almost 5.
Yes.
What gets you excited about coming to work? Is it your role? Is it the people? Like
all of the above. I mean, for me, it's making the client happy. Right?
Yeah.
Client sat, and that's what it's all about. And there's enough that are having concerns and or issues and or learning disabilities, we'll call them, where they're stuck, they don't know which way to go.
Right. Helping
them out. That's a big part. That's my whole career. I was in IT for a lot of years, and that's still the same thing, right? Back then, there was no help desks when I started in this role, and we took the calls. We helped the client, and it's growing that way all the time. And this is just an extension of that, more and more every day.
So looking at the growth of PBS and how far this company has come, what do you believe our dealers really have to look forward to moving forward? What do you think the future holds that's really great? And you don't have to give away any secrets, but you know, yeah.
I don't think I know any secrets.
Maybe you do. You know.
We will certainly continue to improve our software.
Absolutely.
Same as we do every day, and we work hard to keep the client happy. Mm-hmm. Right? For me, that's the big deal. And so we roll out newer versions or updates or hot fixes, whatever it is we require at the time. It's all about making sure that it's all working for the client. Yes. So as long as we continue to do that, of course, if we're lucky enough to be number one in Canada, we could be working hard enough to get to number one in other places as well, right? Let's hope for that. So we work hard to keep the client happy no matter what it takes. And that's whether it's an update or them calling us. Right? We'll work to do that. A lot of times a call will go to support. We're updated. They have an issue. We'll chase it down. We fix it pretty quickly. Usually same day if it's nothing too big. And none of them are. I remember, 4 years ago, it was a different story, and we still had Aristo to look after. Absolutely. And of course, it was getting to past its prime. So having V10 come on board and getting that speeded up and getting things working that way, that's what's important. And so the client, I think, is looking forward to us to continue on that route, to make it better and have it working.
What would you say has been your life's greatest challenge?
Great question. My 2 kids.
That's a good answer. Yeah. I take it your kids are all grown up now.
Yeah. My daughter lives in Vancouver, special effects makeup artist. She's 32, and my son just finished university, but I don't think he got a degree because he just wasn't interested at the end.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh my goodness, you realize you've just paid all this money. He goes, oh, I want to go back, Dad. Okay, well, totally up to you. He's got his high school degree, or his high school diploma. That's all I care about, right?
Yeah.
I'm good. Forgive me, I have some what I call Burkeisms.
Oh, tell me.
3 things that I've taken away for all the years I've been working in, and they are, you learn something new every day.
Absolutely.
We really do. Mm-hmm. Every day is different, and you'll never know it all, right?
Those are fantastic. Yeah. How do you define success?
Yeah, I knew that one would come up.
It's a tough one, I know.
It is. Being happy at what I do, mm-hmm. and making it work, right?
Yeah.
Most of the time it will be to my satisfaction, because it's me. I'm worried about me more than, I'm number one.
Well, you should be.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. So I'm happy to, if I can get something done, whether it's help the client, help you guys and gals with this, do my job upstairs, work on cars, right? Work on my bikes, do what I want to do. For me, I'm success. Right?
Well, thanks, Burke. I really appreciate your time today. It's been awesome chatting with you, and I do feel like I have absolutely learned more about who you are as a person. And as we said before we even got on camera, you and I have been here about the same amount of time at PBS. So I do kind of feel a connection with you even on that level too, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate you being here.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
You bet.
If you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for similar content to come in the near future. Follow us for all the latest and greatest PBS news and events information. We're currently active on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the links in the video description below to visit our channels.